19th-century English poet and novelist Emily Brontë wrote only one novel that survives to this day. Sadly, she died in 1848 at the age of 30, but her signature work has stood the test of time. In part, because Wuthering Heights, familiar to most people through numerous film versions, itself foreshadowed popular literature's evolution after her lifetime, from romance to realism. Her novel focuses on two households, which stand within just miles of each other. The main characters of one embodying nature and passion, and the other personifying civility and reason. Desolate Wuthering Heights, believed to be inspired by a real, now ruined farmhouse on the West Yorkshire moors, is the domain of the earthy Catherine and her fated great love, the intense Heathcliff. Thrushcross Grange, the far more refined world of Isabella and Edgar Linton, is a manicured bubble of civilization amid the wild, windswept heaths, epitomizing restraint and inhibition. On publication, Wuthering Heights baffled critics because of its two distinct phases, a familiar romantic genre first half, and a second half anticipating realism, the style of the then future. That now familiar genre, to which most modern stories belong, was yet to emerge in Bronte's lifetime, so both her novel's second stage and utterly unique narrative approach proved startling. In the first half, we see the unique, volatile Heathcliff and Catherine grow up to fall in love, but quickly sense that unlike, for instance, a Jane Austen novel resolution, all will not end well. And it doesn't, with Catherine betraying her own nature to marry Edgar Linton in the hope of using his money to help Heathcliff, but in the process destroying first herself, then her true love. The author of this tragic romance spent much of her own short life brainstorming and writing, along with her equally gifted literate sisters, poems and tales of exotic worlds and relationships. Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre was a contemporary success, but Emily's Wuthering Heights and Sister Anne's The Tenant of Wildfell Hall were fated for posthumous masterpiece recognition. But, as in her lifetime, the technical construction of Emily's novel continues to intrigue readers and critics because it represents a radical departure from what had been the rock-solid tradition. In the formative centuries of the novel, every great work had used the third-person omniscient point of view, that is, an independent unnamed narrator, everywhere knowing everything. This approach remained virtually sacrosanct in the East, from the tale of Genji to the story of the stone, and equally untouchable in the West, from Don Quixote through to Tom Jones. Yet it was young Emily Brontë, labouring at her craft in the sleepy English village of Haworth, who decided to overhaul both traditional narrative point of view and the single-genre novel. To put her innovations in context, let's first look at, arguably, the most inimitable romantic novel motif in Phase 1 of Wuthering Heights, the rendering of Heathcliff as a Byronic hero. 19th-century literature's Byronic hero came from the personality, life, and self-mirroring protagonists in the poetry of the oft-scandalous Lord Byron, who died in 1824, at the age of 36. Like his creator, the Byronic hero was always a moody, passionate, gifted romantic poet, superior to other men, but, owing to some crime, scandal, or libertine habit, isolated from others. Magnificent, autonomous, often dashing, always free, and like the daring Lord Byron himself, irresistible, especially to women, despite being mad, bad, and dangerous to know. Bronte gives us just such a man in Heathcliff, wild, difficult, yet outstanding, then turns this romantic genre motif on its head in Phase 2 by delivering final victory to the reasonable. Romanticism's followers generally rejected Enlightenment-era values, including evidence, common sense, objectivity, and conformity, preferring intuition, passion, and individuality. To them, the rebellious Catherine and Heathcliff, the echo of Byron, would appear wondrous souls whose love deserves center stage, their unbridled natures transcending narrow rationality. And though their intense passion destroys them, ironically, it continues after death, hence later sightings of their ghosts, a Gothic novel touch Enlightenment thinkers would have ridiculed. But at Phase 2's end, there's peace between the two houses, and Catherine, daughter of the original Catherine and Edgar Linton, is to marry Hareton Earnshaw, now owner of both homes. Wuthering Heights is to be finally sealed up, and with that perhaps, Emily Brontë knowingly signals the twilight of Romanticism's passion and dreams, and the dawn of the realist story age. Her novel's greatest innovation remains its unique character-based narrative, offering readers no omniscient author to rely upon, forcing them to work out Wuthering Heights for themselves. Catherine and Heathcliff's tale is narrated by a sojourner from London called Lockwood, who himself gets the story from one Nellie Dean, a servant at Wuthering Heights since childhood. Nellie in turn fleshes out her account using letters and quotes from Heathcliff, Catherine, and other characters, plus Lockwood independently stumbles on surviving fragments of information. Thus, stories are embedded inside each other, and everything we know we learn from characters themselves, the traditional author having completely vanished in this new storytelling process. Hence, Emily Bronte's remarkable approach anticipated the realist novel we take for granted today, gifting us with a complex, evolving narrative, many possible interpretations, and endless fascinating discussions about how the characters themselves perceived, or possibly edited, the true story of Wuthering Heights. If you enjoyed Emily Bronte's tale of rule-breaking lovers, you might be fascinated by the efforts of France's greatest playwright to laugh such people back into conformity in our episode 22.